Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable MUT coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today we have our first update to the wide receiver tier list here in Madden 24. Tyreek Hill goes down to A tier. Not much movement. I moved up John Michie a little bit. We have some new names on here like Cedric Tillman, 85 speed at an 81 overall. A solid little budget option right there. But not much has really changed. I also did add the rookie premieres, and that's really it. That's really about it for the wide receiver tier list. And obviously we're going to add a bunch of new names here today as well. And of course, before we get started, our shout out of the day goes to my man Wax Mustache 6307 for commenting the emoji of the day on last video. If you want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, let's comment the dolphin emoji. Comment the dolphin emoji for a chance to be shouted out in the next one. So to get started, we have Drake London, and he has one thing that other receivers on this tier list really don't have, and that's size. So far, we haven't got that super tall receiver, although I do think Randy Moss is going to be coming out this weekend. I have a good feeling about that. But yeah, 84 speed with 87 acceleration, good short route running, but low mid and low deep route running. Also doesn't get, the slot apprentice and those abilities. I mean, it says that he does, but he doesn't get that. Unfortunately, that, Jerry Rice and Jalen Hyatt and Devonta Smith have in this game right now. But yeah, good size. After the catch, he's okay. Good carrying and a decent juke move. But Drake London, I think he was okay for a little bit, but he's already on his way phasing out. But he's still, he's just not S tier. That's the thing. You expect to see an 87 overall receiver who came out, and he's Drake London with good size, but they simply just cheated his speed, in my opinion, and also some of his route running stats as well. So Drake London, I'm going to put him at mid A tier for now. Whoa, what just happened? Mid A tier for now. They want him to be S tier really bad, but yeah, mid A tier for now for Drake London. If you have a Falcons team, make this card a little bit better. But outside of that, I just don't know if he's really the move for his price. A lot of people were comparing this Christian Watson card to the Drake London card because they came out on the same day. And I got to compare them on this tier list again today. Christian Watson, he's got better deep route running. Has literally, I think, the same short route running. 85 speed, so he's faster. Acceleration 84, good catch in traffic at 6'4". I honestly think that Christian Watson is better than Drake London, and he's 3 overalls higher and 3 overalls lower and came out on the same exact day. So, if you're gonna buy one of these headliner receivers, Christian Watson makes more sense. He's just like a little bit better, but that price differential. There's no reason to really have Drake London unless you have a Falcons team. Like I said, if you have a Falcons team, it's different because you're trying to boost that speed. But if you don't, there's no reason to have Drake London. Maybe you're a fan of him, go get him. But if you're just looking for the best bang for your buck, Watson, I think he's honestly better and he's cheaper. So this is a rare instance. Usually, a card is a little bit better, but he's a lot more expensive and it's not worth that price. But to me, Watson is simply just better than the Drake London card. The next man up is the campus hero Christian Kirk, 86 speed, 87 acceleration, and 87 short route running. This card is actually pretty good. He's faster than both cards that we've already covered today. 5'11". Kirk cards usually actually play pretty well if you played the game last year. We had that Christian Kirk card that went crazy, 85 juke move. Unfortunately for Christian Kirk, he only does get the first ability bucket, so not even a chance to get slot apprentice at an 85 overall. But it is what it is. Of course, let's get Cardinals and Jaguars cams, but Christian Kirk, a solid card. 86 speed is pretty good. that's what Tyreek Hill's card has, right? So he's just as fast as Tyreek Hill. The route running, not as good. He's giving him over your short route running slot receiver, maybe even like a red zone, short yardage kind of guy. Not as far as jump balls, but getting open in short spaces is where this card's gonna be pretty good. So I'm gonna throw out Christian Kirk right in front of Christian Watson, but behind both Justin Jefferson cards and also behind Tyreek Hill. I would still say these guys have the advantage, but Kirk is actually a pretty solid bang for your buck card. Coming in at about 100K, 90K, that's a good buy for a high A-tier receiver right now. And speaking of good buys, we have Taquon Thornton, who's a really unique budget card because, yeah, he has 87 speed, which is right now the fastest in the game for a wide receiver, which is amazing. So a super unique budget card because he's the fastest in the game, technically. He's got 85 acceleration, but they actually gave him good route running. He has 84 deep route running. Usually, yeah, they'll give us budget cards and all they are is fast and tall. But he also has some stats to back it up at an 81 overall, so 6'2", good speed. If you have a budget or no money spent team, this card is simply a must-have. You got to try to get hands on this card at all costs because he's an A-tier receiver, man, and he's actually pretty legit. This card is legit. He doesn't really, his whole is his short route running and things like that. Even the catching traffic's a little bit low, but having that speed with that size and that deep route running, I think puts him right behind Christian Kirk. I mean, you could honestly interchange these two if you want. You could even debate Thornton higher maybe if you want to go. If you want to say that, maybe you can. But I'm going to put Thornton right in between Christian Kirk and Christian Watson. And next up, we have Chad Johnson. Chad Ochocinco came out the first Legend weekend as the LTD. 86 speed, 87 acceleration with 84 short route running, 88 mid, 84 deep. A good catch in traffic. Well, decent catch in traffic. Good catching at 6'1", 192. To me, I like Chad. I like Chad. To me, just receivers that are like him came out and are better than him now. So I'm not going to put him at S tier, which might be a surprise to some people, but I'm going to put him at high A tier. Honestly, if you want to debate me and say he's a low S tier player, go for it. But I just think he's high A tier. I think there's a pretty good amount of names that I'd rather have than Chad Ochocinco's card. And next up, we have Devin Hester, and I've gone back and forth between Devin Hester and Chad Ochocinco, who's better. And I think Devin Hester is the better receiver compared to the two, which is crazy to say. But the way that EA does Devin Hester cards is crazy. I mean, they gave him good route running. They gave him 90 deep route running, which is crazy. I know he's a little bit shorter, but to me, right now, ad catching's still a thing. It's still a thing. It's not what it was last year, and I think it's way more valuable to have a taller receiver, or sorry, a taller cornerback or taller DB than have a tall receiver, just because ad catching isn't that crazy this year. I think it's better to have those stats. And to me, Devin Hester just plays better, runs routes better. I think it could be because of that 90 deep route running. The one hole on this card I will say is definitely the mid route running, but similar speeds, a little bit shorter. But I do definitely think this card plays a lot better. And then after the catch, you know, with having a 90 juke move and 88 COD, he just feels so good on the stick. Pause, but you know what I mean. So the Devin Hester, I'm gonna put him at low S tier. I absolutely love this card. He plays amazing. We are now down to our final three cards. We're getting started here with Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper, aka 87 speed, 88 acceleration, very complete route running across the board, can really run any route, short to mid to deep. 6 foot, so he's a good height. His weight, you know, it doesn't make him look like he's really small. EA does a bad job with, you know, slight player builds. Look at Robbie Anderson a couple years ago. I love using that example, but they kind of do a bad job with these skinnier players. And he still has pretty good size in this game. But after the catch is kind of his one hole. That's the one reason why this card's going to end up where he's going to end up. But, you know, good enough COD where you can use your stick work to make a guy miss. Maybe you can't rely on that juke as much. But, yeah, the route running is crazy on this card. The speed, the card just plays super smooth. The card plays super fluid. But to me, the one hole on this card, and of course, we got to split hairs when ranking these receivers. I mean, he's still going to be S tier. But to me, Devonta Smith does finish at number 3 compared to these other two cards. And next up, we have the AKA Jerry Rice. 87 speed with 88 mid route running, 87 short route running. Jerry Rice cards always play super smooth. And of course, this one is literally no different. At 6'2", also very good after the catch with an 86 juke movement and 88 COD. And also, by the way, I didn't mention it, but Devonta Smith does get slot apprentice as well. But yeah, Jerry does get slot apprentice, which is super nice to get. It basically makes you super tough and super unpredictable in the slot, especially playing against man coverage. Even against cover 3, you can make flood concepts very easily. You can make those, post concepts when you have the post and the streak on the back. Like, you can make so many different combinations with slot apprentice. So having that ability right now is so valuable in my opinion. And, it should be your opinion as well. Slot apprentice is very good. But, yeah, having these stats to back it up and also the after the catch. I think Jerry Rice is a very complete wide receiver. So with that being said, I'm going to put Jerry Rice at the top of S tier in front of Devonta Smith. And finally, last but not least, the man who I believe is wide receiver 1 right now in Madden 24, and that's Jalen Hyatt. So what happened with Jalen Hyatt for me was I used him in the gameplay. I then sold him back after the gameplay, but then I pulled Jalen Hyatt and I started using him again. And this dude is a dog, man. This card plays so well. I don't know. I think it might just be like I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, it could be the 90 mid route running. That could be what it is on this card that makes him play so fluid. But the route running stats across the board are just amazing. He's at 87 speed with the 89 acceleration. This card is physically insane. And then after the catch, he has an 88 move with an 84 COD. So he's obviously super nutty. So Jalen Hyatt to me, wide receiver number 1. I guess there could be a debate for maybe Jerry being better or even Devonta Smith. But to me, it's pretty clear cut that it is Hyatt. And then you could probably swap these two. They're very similar in my opinion. If you don't value the after the catch as much, you might your top 3 might look like this. If you value that after the catch and a little bit extra height, you might go Jerry. But to me, Hyatt is number 1. I think it's pretty clear cut right now. So our top 5 receivers right now in Madden 24: Jalen Hyatt, Jerry Rice, Devonta Smith, George Pickens, and Devin Hester rounding out the top 5. Drop a comment down below. Who's too high, who's too low, and as always, I'll see you boys in the next one.